Hello, Year 6. Welcome. Welcome to my shed. This is where I do a lot of building. It's a bit of a mess right now, but hopefully I can use some of this isolation time to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, I hope you're staying safe. Hope you're staying isolated. Hope you're keeping 2 meters distance. There's 2 meters right there. Well, on that note, we left off before you guys broke up. We were doing lots of measuring, lots of shape. So I thought it might be a nice idea to incorporate those two things together, try and do some home learning activities using some objects that you have just laying around the house. Cool? Cool beans? Cool beans. Alright, so some objects that you might have lying around the house. Various boxes. This shoe box. It's a quadrilateral. It's got 4 sides. It's a, what type of shape is it? It's a rectangle, that's right. Well done. So I'm going to use one of these because I think it'll be pretty easy to measure the perimeter of this box. Did I mention that we're measuring perimeter? I don't think I did. Anyway, what is perimeter, you ask? Perimeter is the distance all the way around the outside of the shape. To work out perimeter, you add up all the lengths of all the sides. So with my shoebox here, I'm going to add up all the lengths of all the sides. That's 4 sides. So I'm going to need to measure all of them and then add them all up. Easy as pie, innit? Cool. Now, be easy to go around and measure a bunch of things that were about that size, but let's take it up a notch, okay? You're trapped inside, you're safe inside, that's what's most important. So why don't you do some measuring? I'm going to measure the perimeter of this room. It's a bit of a mess right now, but that's okay. Now, again, you could go around your house and measure the perimeter of all the rooms in your home. The living room, bedroom, bathroom, the kitchen, all those different rooms. You're probably going to be measuring in meters, or at least I hope you are. Now, with the shoebox, we probably want to measure with what unit? I think I heard it back there. Centimeters, that's right. We want to use centimeters, okay? That just seems the most sensible. It just, looking at the size of that object, we wouldn't want to do it in meters. That wouldn't really make any sense because none of those sides are even 1 meter long. We wouldn't want to do it in kilometers because, let's face it, it's hard to measure kilometers with your arms. Kilometers, a lot of those. Maybe your challenge will be to convert each and every one of these measurements into millimeters. So, take that challenge on, right? The third object I want to measure the perimeter of is a local common. Tooting Common to be exact, that's where I live near. I'm going to ride my bicycle around it using an app called Strava, which is going to track my distance while riding my bike. And hopefully, it does it accurately, and we can from there measure the perimeter of Tooting Common. Could do, but we've already done centimeters with our shoebox. We've done meters with our room at home. Let's kick it up a notch. Let's go to kilometers, shall we? Great. All right, so what we said is we're going to be measuring a shoebox. It is a rectangle. We are going to be measuring in centimeters. I'm going to be measuring my workroom. It is also a rectangle. This time, instead of measuring in centimeters, I'm going to measure in meters. Cool. The third thing I'm going to measure is the local common. Like I said, it's called Tooting Common. It's a bit of a strange shape. It's not exactly a rectangle. It's kind of something like that. Okay, now I just need to measure each one of these sides. So I'm going to take that Strava app and I'm going to stop at each turning point and see how far I've gone. Cool beans? This time I'm not going to measure in centimeters, nor am I going to measure in meters. We're going to kick it up a notch. We're going to measure in kilometers. Okay, here we are with my shoebox, and I've got a tape measure. This is what I'm going to be using to measure. I also need to make sure that I'm looking at the right unit, because as I roll this out, you'll notice there's 2 different units. On the top we have inches. We don't want inches. That's American. Boo! We're going to use the metric system. It's really easy to use and it makes a lot more sense. Alright, so take the end of my measuring tape starting at 0. Put it here on the edge. I'm going to measure the length of it first. Looking at the bottom, looks like we're coming right up at 36 centimeters for the length All right, now let's do the width. 10, 20, 24 centimeters. Now, I could also measure this side, but what do I know about this side? It's a rectangle, meaning that the opposite sides are the same length. So I know that I have two sides that are 36 centimeters and two sides that are 24. So I'm gonna add it up like this. I'm gonna put my 36 up here for the other side, my 24 down here. I know both these sides are 24 centimeters. I know both these sides are 36 centimeters. We're gonna do some column addition. Hopefully I can still do this. 6 add 6, 12. 12 add 4, 16. 16 add 4, 20. Ooh, a nice round number. 3 add 3, 6. 6 add 2, 8. 8 add 2, 10. 10 add 2, 12. 120 centimeters. I love it. Let's put it up on our chart. We said the dimensions here were 24 centimeters and 36 centimeters. So we know that the opposite is also 24 centimeters. And the opposite of this one is 36 centimeters. Now when we added all of them up, what did we get? 120 centimeters. That is the perimeter of the shoebox in centimeters. Well done. All right, did the shoebox. Now we're gonna move on to measuring in meters. I've got my meter stick here. Actually, I've got my measuring tape here. And I'm gonna take two measurements. One of the length of the room and one of the width. Because it is also a quadrilateral, I don't need to measure all four sides. I know that what is true about one side is true about the parallel side. All right, I'll report back. Easy does it, kids. Yeah, got done measuring the length. It was 4.6 meters. How many centimeters is that? The width? Great. Silly. I said the width was 4.6 meters exactly. And the width, did I say width? I meant length. The width was 2.15. All right, so how are we gonna work out the perimeter, which again is the distance all the way around the outside of the shape? Well, we're gonna add these lengths up, aren't we? Put in my units, meters. Okay, so I've got two sides that are 2.15 meters. Probably should show you what I'm doing here. 2.15. And I've got two sides that are 4.6. Line up the decimals. Just because this has 3 digits doesn't mean the 4 goes in the 10th column. Line up the decimals. If you need to, you can put a 0 there. But you don't need it because you're in year 6. I've got two that are 4.6. Starting in my 100th column, 5 add 5, add nothing gives me 10. Recycle my 1 down here into the 10th column. 1 on 1 is 2. 2 add 6 is 8. Okay, a little technical difficulty there. Now having to film on my phone. I've done my maths here, done my addition. Comes out to 13.5 or 13 and a half meters for my perimeter of this workroom. All the way around. Okay, next is the exciting bit. Exciting for me at least, because this is where I'm gonna go measure the perimeter of Tootingcommon using my bike. This is my one bit of exercise that I can do during the day, so I hope you guys appreciate it. I'd appreciate it if you go do some exercise as well. Like Adam says, it's important to stay fit, especially in these times of isolation. We don't know how long we're gonna be isolated like this, so do what you can. Get out, get some fresh air, and use it as a learning opportunity as well, okay? Check back later. Okay, here we are at the park. We're gonna ride around, see what the perimeter is. Hope I don't drop my phone while I'm doing it. I'll try and calculate the whole thing when we get back. Beautiful day, lots of people out. That doesn't look like 2 meters. I should have brought my meter stick with me. Show these people how to keep a safe social distance. Keep your distance, kids. Okay, got started. Oh, it's a nice school. Stratton Clapham High School. We're gonna do 2 laps, measure each side on the first one, and then on the second go around, we're going to just do the whole thing and see how many kilometers it comes out to.
So So as you can see on my first go around, that side of the park was 0.8 miles long. By the time I'd finished the second side of the park, I'd gone a total of 1.2 miles, meaning an additional 0.4 miles. After I finished the third side of the park, I had gone a total of 2.2 miles, meaning the third side was a total of 1 mile long.
Okay guys, I gotta finish up. Far too many people here. I'm not trying to have that. I had a little technical fault with Strava. I put it in miles. Silly. Sorry. We'll work with what we got. I'll show you the results when I get home. Adios.
After all was said and done, I went a total of 3.06 miles around the perimeter of the park. See if you can do this in your own park.
Alright guys. Had a few hiccups here and there. Not everything's worked the way I wanted it to. But what have we learned? You can go out, you can do this in your spare time, which you have a little bit of right now because we're in isolation. But you have one piece of exercise you can exercise you can do in a day. So get out, make the most of it, try to enjoy it while you can. You're gonna be back in secondary school doing all that homework real soon. Okay? Use what you got, have some fun. Hopefully see y'all sooner rather than later.